The best kind of Zwift racing is team racing, and I'm a straight up evangelist for ZRL, a series that puts more than 2,000 of us garage-dwelling nerds together in some 26 leagues every Tuesday night. I'm about to jump in here with my teammates to ride myself silly, but I'm going to pitch you on why you should give this series a shot.
You guys got this.
Yeah,
I think the coalition dudes are pretty strong.
they are.
Yeah. We're gonna stay on it. Nice.
Push, 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 push. Let's go. Up, 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 up. We can close that gap. We got 4 together. Come on.
Now, ZRL racing happens on Zwift, but it was not created by Zwift, nor is it operated by Zwift. Instead, ZRL was founded by WTRL, and later in this video I speak with Martin Carew about what makes this global garage racing league tick. So why is ZRL the best racing? Well, it's a points-based series that offers multiple goals and strategies, and ultimately it's the teamwork and camaraderie that keeps people like me coming back for more every Tuesday.
Come on, John. Go on, John. Finish it off. Hop up, 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 up.
Up,
Finish
up,
off
up.
strong.
Compared to a normal race, where it's all about the finish line for one person and you're racing a bunch of randoms, in ZRL, it's a points-based system that lasts for 6 weeks, where everybody can contribute in different ways. There are points for intermediate sprints, there are points for fastest times through segments, and then there are finish line points that go all the way deep. Every Tuesday, the team with the most points wins that race, and then each team's points contribute to the overall series standings. One of the things I love about cycling and what hooked me on racing in college was the team atmosphere, the strategy, the teamwork, the camaraderie, and the enormous amounts of friendly smack talking. And these are elements I have found in ZRL racing. Granted, it's here in the garage and via a phone, but the same dynamics are there. And that, for me, is what the magic is for ZRL. Unlike racing outside, racing inside, I've met people from all over. I've been riding with the Stages Club for 6 of the ZRL rounds now. We've got folks in Bend, in Philly, here in Boulder, Colorado. In past editions, we've had people in Australia and Switzerland. Ironically, the communication can be a bit better inside than outside. I'm among the throngs of folks on Zwift who use Discord, both the video and audio, for talking with teammates. We talk smack and strategy with each other ahead of the race. We get to the event in a virtual sense ahead of time, ride around together, warm up together, and then we enjoy having a laugh after the suffering is over. The first time I heard of a director sportif in a race, I cackled. This was the first time there was a U.S. National Championships, and the rider who won, who was a USCF Cat 3, was telling me about how his DS had told him this and that, and I stopped him. I said, "Excuse me, did you say DS?" He said, "Yes, that means director sportif." I'm like, I know what DS means, man. That means the boss of a team of professional cyclists, not just someone who's sitting in a room looking at a computer monitor. Fast forward to today, and I am all about having one of our teammates who isn't racing being on the mic and helping folks out.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I haven't told Lori that I'm watching virtual racing. Bad enough doing virtual racing an hour.
Oh, yeah, I already told Jenna because when we were on vacation, I made sure that we were at the hotel when this came on so I could DS. She was sitting next to me, shaking her head the whole hour while I DS'd a race I was not in.
So this evening we've got Matt and Mike up in Bend, and they're looking at the maps, seeing what's coming up, giving us information about where the key climbs are, what splits are happening, and it just all adds to that sense of teamwork. In that regard, it's similar to many aspects of Zwift that I used to have a hard time understanding, and now I'm the one that other people will look at and scratch their heads. For instance, I dragged a trainer down to lovely southern Arizona so I could race on Tuesday night with the boys. I was there with my colleague at the time, Betsy Welch. We had, 6 gravel bikes to ride, and we're doing so outside where it was 70 degrees, but I was keen to get back for the Tuesday night race.
How's Zwift been?
Don't quite have all the Wi-Fi
Are you just...
speed when you start.
Yeah, maybe it's a sign.
No, will not accept defeat. Not yet. Mike, I don't know if you guys can hear what my coworker is filming and heckling. To her, this made zero sense. To my teammates, of course I had to be there. My teammate Benjamin Sharp may have one-upped me in the Zwifting in ridiculous places scenario, and that he dragged a trainer to Arizona and used it behind his van in a campground. Benjamin also helped us take our dorkery to the next level. He's coached many Olympic athletes, including current gold medalist Jennifer Valente. For our team time trials, he would look at all of our power files and break down our pull power versus our sitting in power, and if the delta wasn't big enough, would let us know that we weren't drafting as efficiently as possible. Like so many things with Zwift, if you try to explain this to someone who hasn't been bitten by the bug, you sound like an insane person. This video is supported by Stages Cycling, which makes the SB20 smart bike. Stages has been building indoor bikes for gyms around the world for more than 10 years, and the SB20 features rock-solid construction and ease of adjustment, but with a host of features optimized for virtual riding and racing by people who ride and race outdoors and indoors. There are sprint shifters in the drops and shift buttons on the hoods that can be configured to match your outdoor bike or set as Stages Dream Drive, which has up to 50 gears. The SB20 has a handy phone holder with 2 USB ports underneath, which is great if you use Discord or Zwift Companion or just like having your phone in front of you while Zwifting. It comes with a removable mount for tablets. There are 4 crank length options built in, and yes, of course it measures power with a dual-sided Stages power meter. Zwift has something like 150 races going on every day. So with that many options, why create something else? Well, let's hear it from the man himself. Martin Crew, the man behind WTRL and ZRL. How are you, sir?
Indeed. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Doing fine, thanks. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of the series you've created and run, and I don't know very much about what goes on behind it. So I'm hoping you can enlighten us a bit, past, present, and future.
WTRL actually started long before, well, a few months or so before I came on board. It was originally running a Saturday race called Winter Tactical Racing Leagues, sort of 500-600 people joining, all done in the usual way that the community works. Swift Power results, all the rulings applied after the races and all of that kind of thing. And I got involved with WTRL mainly through the team time trial. And I had said at the time that there is a way to make this a lot bigger than it is, and then as more and more people joined the Thursday team time trial, we got a website going. We started to look at ways to process results automatically. Gradually, we went from 7 teams in the first official week through very quickly through to 60 odd teams, and then it just grew. And then of course, COVID came along, and it exploded. So that's obviously where we started, and then there was interest from Zwift headquarters. The chief marketing officer he formed his own little team within the TTT, the ZHQ or ZHQ Rockets, and from there, obviously, because of the scalability that we had, the numbers of people to deal with, the fact that we were doing some very unique things, we had email communication, we had all these other bells and whistles that didn't exist in any other forms of racing at the time. Zwift approached us about starting a series for them, Zwift Racing League, as it's now known. And it started off with 800 teams in its first season, and the round we've just finished was 2,200 teams, about 18,500 unique people, around 11,000 people racing each week.
Mm-hmm. What I love about ZRL is the team-based nature of the thing. I think I never did any of the WTRL team time trials, but I've done team time trials within the ZRL series. I've probably done 6 of the rounds now. And to me, that seems like, as a participant, that's the secret sauce. Like, I have no idea how much work goes into the back end. I understand you taught yourself like 4 or 5 different programming languages to make it all work, but just from the the participant in just the, being with other knuckleheads on Discord and encouraging each other on and antagonizing each other?
My entire background in terms of sports, I was a professional rugby player for a while, but rugby has been the key source of my life, so to speak. But I've been involved in handball, volleyball, soccer, or football, as the Europeans, etc.,
Sure.
would call it, and other team sports. So, kind of team sports, team activity is at the heart of anything to do with physical activity, really, for me. And that was the attraction in the team time trial. And then when you couple that with the fact that most people are on Zwift for training, fitness, all of that kind of thing, you then relate that back to how people would use, say, a gym. So they'll sign up for a gym membership in January, perhaps thinking, yeah, New Year's resolution, I'm going to get fit, lose weight, be healthier, or have a better lifestyle, and away they go. And having done it myself after retirement from rugby, it's actually very hard to stay motivated to go to the gym when there's only you in it. There's only
Yeah.
you as part of it.
Yeah.
And that's where to some extent with Zwift, that's where the team element comes along. Because if you've got teammates you're meeting up with to race with, or to ride with, or to work out with, or whatever it is you're doing, you are more likely to jump on the platform, from Zwift's perspective, pay your subscription rather than cancel it and all that kind of stuff. And when you then bring that into racing, and then all the fun that, as a child, I used to invent board games and stuff. This is a number of years ago, but looking at what we can do with Zwift and Zwift data, and how we can make it more interesting competitions, different point systems, different schemes, different ideas, to some extent feeding into how that game might develop as well, the game of Zwift, how it will develop. That's really and truly, I think, where our success has been, is through that team element of the racing. It's not just, you're a team of, you're a club of 300 people, bring all 300 along, another club of 100 people comes along, and then it's all unfair and all the rest of it. It's encouraging clubs to break down into smaller teams, even if it's multiple teams within the same place. And really just to build that camaraderie and that team element, and the friendly rivalry and competition that always comes out of that.
Yeah. I think you've done an excellent job of that. One update I appreciated for this round was, for the team time trials, each team getting a separate clock instead of all the teams being in the pin and having to nominate one person to keep track of what was going on. So it seemed like that was something that must have required interaction with Zwift HQ to make that happen.
Indeed. So we were approached by one of the teams that we work with at Zwift within the development arena of the game, and they were saying that they wanted to look at putting together a proper team time trial start system mode, which we worked with them, gave them some ideas and some specifications and what we'd want to be able to do with the finished product. They went away and built it, and then I spent 3 months, I think it was last summer, building all the stuff at our end to be able to function with the game. And then we rolled that out in the Thursday team time trial. I think it was around mid-August this summer. So we had all the testing to make sure that teams could register at the particular time they wanted to start, and that the team members all ended up in the right place, and they're all on the right place in the game, and all of that kind of stuff too. Ready for the Zwift Racing League team time trials of round 7 and 8, I think it was, for the proper team time trial mode. But that means every team gets an official start time. They don't need to be there at the very beginning, sitting there trying to keep warm for 10, 15 minutes waiting for their time to start. They can show up when they're ready, as long as they're there by their release time. They're then launched off on their team time trial. So now that was a big leap forward. At the moment, it's still a mode that's not accessible to anyone else, any other race organizers, etc. Mainly because the technology to run it is ours. I built it. Zwift don't have a control panel for the community to be able to use it for themselves, and certainly don't have the functionality within the companion app and the game, etc., for them to use it for themselves. So nice in some ways that it's exclusive to us, there's a lot of work's gone in to make it work, and in time, I'm sure sure it will be made available to the rest of the community.
How about the point scoring thing? Like that's another thing that a lot of us enjoy about ZRL is it's not just a winner takes all, he or she with the greatest watts per kilo wins. There's like all the intermediate points and fastest through the segments, and then points all the way down for the finish. To my knowledge, that doesn't exist in other Zwift events. So is that also something that you've built and that is still exclusive to you?
Yeah, I mean, there are some ways to replicate some of what we do through existing systems within Zwift Power. But yeah, that's one of the beauties that I can sit here and dream up all kinds of schemes and ideas and present them to Zwift on a frequent occasions. The ones they like, we move forward. The ones they don't, get sat in a bucket ready for me to use in our own races sometime. And the whole point of Zwift Racing League was that it would be team focused. So while yes, there is a race winner and someone comes second, third, fourth, fifth, so on, the importance is not on the individual, it's on how the team collaboratively work together to pick as many points up as they can along the way. And hence, so you've got a fastest through the segment, you've got first across the line segment points, you've got finish points, and there are more pots coming. There's a brand new one. It doesn't have an official name yet, but I'm pushing for it to be segment battle points. There will be more information on this, but everyone will be able to earn these. And we think the way that races tend to break up into subgroups, particularly in the lower categories, it will keep those at the middle and the back interested, something to battle for.
Segment battle points. I like it.
Yeah, bringing a bit of gaming terminology into the system.
So say someone wants to race and they don't have a team, how do they find potential teammates?
As it stands at the moment, the way to join a team is join our Facebook, the Zwift Racing League Facebook page, stick up the league or the time that you're looking to race, what your ability is, your Zwift Power category or whatever, and you'll very quickly, as teams sit there, they have notifications turned on for certain tags that we ask people to put on their messages. They'll get a lot of responses. For those who don't use social media at the moment, if they email in to our support email, Race Control, we will help them find a team. They can go through the team list, they can pick out a couple of teams that they think would be suitable for them, and we'll connect them that way. Okay. But the hope is that certainly might be pushed for this round, but certainly for the next season, which is September 2023, there will be a full team matchmaking system available. So teams will be able to say, yes, I'm recruiting, be able to say a little bit about themselves, check a few boxes, which will essentially create a bit of a matchmaking service. I'm trying to avoid it looking too much like Tinder, but something along those lines, just to keep it simple, interactive, sure, and fun, to get people on. I mean, and at the end of the day, the whole thing is about the team racing, and it's important, as far as I'm concerned, for well-being and health. Is if you try and go it alone, motivation will run out. If you have other people around you who are encouraging you or pestering you to come along, are you available to race, and all that kind of stuff, you're more likely to succeed in your own personal goals and have fun doing it.
Absolutely. Mark Grew, owner of WTRL, which organizes and runs ZRL, the Zwift Racing League. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your work. We love ZRL and look forward to the what's coming up next. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. Thanks.
Nice work. Nice work. So nice work, John.
Come on, Kyle. Stay with this group, Kyle. Come on. You got this.
So yeah, ZRL Racing. Whew. It is a blast, and you should try it. If you excuse me, I'm gonna go lay down and die now.
Alrighty.
All right, go get him. The big descent starts at 1.3K.
You guys got this.
Yeah.
I think the coalition dudes are pretty strong.
They are.
Yeah. We're gonna stay on it. Nice.
Push. Push. Let's go. Up. We can close that gap. We got 4 together. Come on.
The Libby Hill starts at 14.3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
here
just
it
going
comes.
for it
We're up right now.
There we go. Alrighty, here it comes.
We're on the hill? What the heck?
Yeah, you're on the hill. You're on the start. You're on the base. You haven't hit the cobbles.
Oh, the segment.
You're on the lower
Oh,
slope
no
where you
doubt.
can still draft, but you're on the time segment.
The banner's at 15.3.
Thank you.
Hey, the descent starts at 20 Ks. So you got about a K, just over a K to the descent, guys.
Thank you.
Casey, stay with these CCR riders.
300 meters, just 2 right turns, and we hit the top. Stay on it. Come on, John. Stay on it.
Go, guys. Come on. We got this.
There's only 2 guys off the front. Just stay with that group. There's only 2 guys on that are off the front of the group right now. One of them came back. 200 meters. Stay on it. There it is. Oh, I think 100. I think it's so off.
Almost there. Almost there. Stay on it. Stay on it. Stay on it.
Rami,
Stay on
you
it.
are no man.
Come on,
Yeah,
Kyle, stay on it.
Rami, you and Ted on no man's land. I would wait for that second net next. There's a group at 25 seconds. You may want to wait for them. There's a group at 9 seconds. I think this front group of 7 guys is
You
gone.
can super tap.
Okay, guys, you're on the false flat.
Kyle, super tap.
The top of the false flat should be at 28, just under 28.
Rami, we need to go to those 3 guys.
In front of us?
Pedal.
Just gentle.
Okay.
Pat, you're only 2 seconds.
Rami,
Yeah.
if you
Use
have
your
the
thing,
energy, push
John.
the pace.
Use your thing, John.
Okay.
Nice, Minton. Delaney, get on that group. Get on that group.
Rami, Kyle's group has a coalition rider with him, and they've closed down quite a bit of time to you. So you got to stay in front of that group.
Okay.
Delaney, if you can get across, go.
Come on, Kyle. Stay with that
Pat,
pink
you're getting
jersey.
across it too. Oh, yeah. All right, you guys can sit up. It's going to come down.
Come on,
Yes,
Kyle.
Benjamin.
Come on, Kyle. Come on, Kyle.
They're sitting up in front of you.
Yeah, that was the best way.
That was a hard way. Wow. Not that it wasn't all hard.
That first lap was crazy.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be done before the race started. Just like dropping the first hill
Dude, me too. I was like 36. I was like,
and going as hard as I could. And just, yeah, coming a bit.
dude, I don't get it. I do not understand.